Hey everybody, it's Kimberly. I am an eternal life student, which simply means human. At the end of the day, that really is the only title that we need. I consider people like walking books, and I think that we can learn from each other. We each have different stories to share, and by me learning from you and you learning from me, we can grow stronger together. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story with you today. Um, we'll say the topic is fear of the unknown. I'm sure that we all can agree that it can be pretty scary and it can hold you back from a lot of things in life. And that's something that happened to me. Okay, so about, I'll say 13 years ago or more, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And this type of autoimmune disease does not have a cure. So when you hear something like that, your life changes completely. All the dreams that you thought you were going to be able to accomplish, gone. Um, Things that you were hoping to do, gone. Instead, what you're left with is the fear of the unknown. Is today the day that something big and bad is going to happen to you? I myself had a family, and so it wasn't just about me, it was about them as well. The first thing I did when I found out and I researched, I found out I could end up paralyzed, I could end up blind, I'll be in pain, I could die, all these different horrible, horrible things that they can't predict would happen to you. But they were scary enough to make you look at your life and think, okay, it's over, your future is done for. So the first thing I did was I called my husband and I told him that I want him to stay with my son and live a good life, and I will leave them alone so they don't have to worry about me and see me suffer. It was a very hard decision to make, but I thought I was making the right one. At that point, um, we had tried to have a child for many years. And when I finally had my child, that was my life. That was everything I've ever wanted. And so for me to say, take him and be with him and raise him without me was like giving up my life. But my husband told me no. He said that we're going to get through this together and we'll figure it out. So, that was the first step. Don't give up life. Don't take yourself away from people, but instead try to work together. So, as the years went by and we went through different tests, I had to do different medicines, injections, I had different symptoms. So during that time, I instead changed my mindset. Everybody's always saying, mindset is everything. Well, sometimes that mindset can actually be a bad thing for you if you're thinking strategically or logically, or just emotionally. Each individual thing is good, but not on its own. So my thought was, okay, I had a good job. I normally, if I wasn't sick, I would have went for promotions. I would have studied more. I would have tried to do all these different things. But because I don't know what will happen, fear of the unknown, I don't know how I'll be affected. Instead, I have to figure out a way to take care of my family. So instead, I found good jobs, but jobs that I would be able to sit at if I was in a wheelchair. I actually worked in a hospital, so that worked out even better. If something happened, I was already at a hospital. I would just stay home instead of going out because I'd be nervous. What if something happened and I was out in public in a car or with a child? So instead, I would stay home. You can actually cause yourself to stop living. If you're too strategic, a lot of things too is that I was afraid. So I wouldn't do the things that I was actually capable of. And I could have gone further. And, I let the disease control me instead of the human control it. And that's the difference. Depending on how you label yourself, is what you're giving the power to. If everything was, oh no, I can't, I have multiple sclerosis, you may not have even gone through anything, but you've already labeled yourself that. Oh, this something bad could happen. If you're always walking on eggshells, you're not going to be able to enjoy yourself. I spent a lot of time giving too much power to it because I was afraid. I was afraid for me. I was afraid for my family, and I wanted to make sure everybody was okay. But I forgot to see if I was okay, and I wasn't. I was basically stuck in survival mode. Just figure out a way to get through it. So while I went through all these years of survival mode and strategy, nothing horrible happened. Yes, I have pain. Yes, I have different sensory issues, but I didn't end up in a wheelchair like I thought I would have. These are things that go through your mind when you hear what can happen to you. I didn't end up blind, all those things you should not really read. It doesn't help you. All it does is it freaks you out of what can happen. And then you're worrying for no reason because it may not. And that's what I did. I was an expert worrier. I planned for everything I needed to, just in case. I'm great in chaos because of this. I've got everything planned out. I have things written down. I have, A through Z, because I needed the control in order to feel safe. But, life is life, and it's unpredictable, and you can't label yourself with different things. You're just human, and everything happens in life that is unpredictable. So what you need to do is you need to live. One day, actually, I'll say years later, my son had come up to me and we were talking about school. And I started to ask him, what do you want to be when you're finished school? What do you want to do? A typical question, right? He wasn't sure. And he then turned to me, and it was the funniest thing. He says, well, what do you want to be? Do you really like the job that you're in? And I always told him, you can do anything you want. Nothing can stop you. You're in charge of your life. So he turned back and threw it back in my face and said, if that's not what you want to be, then why are you doing it? I used the excuse, well, I'm good at it. This is a good job. He says, yes, but if it doesn't bring you fulfillment and it's not what you really want, then why are you doing it? And at that moment, this young teenage boy woke me up and made me realize that I haven't been living. I've been surviving. And I needed to show him and myself that I can live and I can get out there and do the things I want. So I started. And as you can see, I won't be quiet. I keep on telling everybody everything. Because one of the things I did was I hid away. I stayed away from everyone. I was afraid to make friends because how could they understand me? How can I understand them? What if something happened to me? I don't want pity. I don't like that. I want to be strong. I have to be strong, but it let me know there's a whole life out there that I've been ignoring, and I let this disease scare me because of the unknown. But when you really think about it, life is the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You could walk out that door and something can happen. You could, it's unpredictable, but that's part of the beauty of it. You can do anything. You just have to choose to get out there and face your fears. And if something happens, fine, then deal with it and go forward. But if you keep on waiting for something to happen, you're not going to live. So I'm done waiting, and I'm going out there, and I'm going to live, and I'm going to see all the things that I want to do. I just have to relearn everything because it's been a long time. So I'm practicing talking. I'm practicing finding out what I like. And I'm showing the world who I am because I've been hiding too long. So here I am. And it's a pleasure to meet you. Again, I am an eternal life student, which is someone who is constantly learning from others, because that's how we grow. And I have been away from people so long that I would like to meet as many as I can, to learn as much as I can, and also to teach you what I know, so that together we're stronger. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope that my personal story can help you in some way. Don't be afraid, and don't become a label. You're a human. There's nothing more you need to be called. Thank you.